welcome to, hello, hope you hear me, hope you see me. How are you today? Welcome to the next online webinar from Cambridge Online and Cambridge CBS. Today we'll be talking about social media content planning, but before we jump to it, I will give everyone a couple more minutes to join us. I will take a little bit more time to have a look at your comments to see who's joining us today and if you have any questions. So please feel free to comment and message and let me know if there's anything that you don't understand. I will be checking in with your comments on a regular basis. Before we kick off, I wanted to say thank you for joining us and thank you for spending the time with us here on the webinar online. It's really lovely to see so many of you watching already, and I'm looking forward to catch up with everyone who's watching for the replay. So today we will walk through my process, the way I like to do social media content planning to get the most out of my time and my efforts invested into social media marketing. So hello Karen, hello Emma, hello Helen, hello everyone who's joining us today. I will stop waffling around and jump straight into the content. Just allow me for a second for a transition from screening my screen to actually showing you my screen, which is always an interesting challenge to figure out where the right buttons are because they keep changing them. Screen share is here. And here we go. Now you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see what I see. And here we go. So today it's all about social media content planning, which is slightly different to just general content planning. This is focused on using different social media scheduling tools and different platforms to actually get the most out of social media. It's designed to help you understand how scheduling can actually help your business and how you can get the most out of social media marketing by using social media scheduling. So today we're going to go through this couple of steps. We will start with benefits and limitations of using social media management tools. We will then look at different social media management tools available out there. We will look a little bit more in depth into the main three, which are Buffer, Hootsuite, and ContentCal. And then we will look at the top tips for planning, creating, and scheduling your content. And obviously, we will wrap up the session with looking at measuring and analyzing your results. As I said, if at any point you have a question or you want to just check in with me that you don't understand something, please do let me know in the comments. I will try to keep an eye on your comments as often as I can to keep up with you guys. So the first question is schedule or not to schedule. There are pros and cons to both of it, but there are obviously limitations to what you can do with just simply scheduling your content. So the benefits are great. It saves you time. It allows you to avoid distractions because you don't need to be worrying about what and when to post. You're just really focused, and you make sure that your business or your organization is being visible, that you are showing up, and that you're consistent with your posting. It will add value to your followers because, again, you will be sharing interesting and relevant content on regular basis. It will add value to your followers, and it will also extend the lifespan of your articles, blog posts, videos. So it will allow you to get the most out of your efforts invested into creating new blog posts, videos, press releases, and any other content that you might have. It's also helpful to schedule because more relevant content is put out there that is thought through. It's not done last minute. You're not just scrambling up and posting just anything. You're actually investing a little bit more time to think through what you want to put out there, what messages you want to share, and that adds the value and increases the quality. It allows you to spread your posts rather than posting everything in one go. So it allows you to actually plan and map out how the week and month will look like what content, what topics, what information you would like, and that all fits together, and how you can organize your content in the most efficient way. You don't have to be sat on your laptop desktop the whole time. You don't need to be checking your phone. You can plan everything once, twice a week, a month, depending on your intensity, depending on your strategy. And then you can invest more time into actually engaging with your audience, and you don't need to worry about, oh, I don't have anything to post for today, for tomorrow. You know that the basics of social media posting, that the basics will always be covered. And you can be active online when you're not physically available. So it allows you to plan content for different time zones, because sometimes we have audiences that are not only in the UK, but that are spread all over the world. And obviously you don't need to be active in the middle of the night or in the different time zones to be able to reach your different audiences. So this way you can plan the content, you can schedule the content, and be available for people in different locations. But also there are downsides to scheduling. There are ways that actually make scheduling a little bit more robotic, and there are definitely reasons for being really cautious with how much you schedule and what content you actually schedule. So there are different types that will enable you to make your content seem more natural, more authentic, more real time when planning, again, what to schedule. So one of the things that is always okay to schedule, it's kind of timeless and evergreen content. It might be your how-to guide, it might be explainer videos, might be things that are not necessarily timely, that are not tied to one particular day and time, and it could be repeated on a regular basis, and they will be constantly relevant. You can plan ahead and schedule different awareness days, so you can look into a calendar and plan, oh, when will be awareness days, there will be appreciation days for your particular industry and for your particular organization, and you can plan those days into your calendar, and then you don't need to worry that you will miss out something. You can do the same for your own events. So if you plan any events, if you have any trainings, if you have any anniversaries, if you have any networking events, you can plan it in advance, and you can then plan your promotional schedule for these, and you can put it into your content plan. If you have any branded graphics, tips and tricks and quotes and testimonials, again, something that is timeless, that is evergreen, that you can plan it into your schedule as well. You can plan some product service info posts about your products, your services, your offering. If you have anything new launching, you can plan for it as well. So this is just a quick overview of things that actually could be scheduled, that could be planned in advance. So you can see that there is lots to play around with. So you can do majority of your social media planning in a bulk and plan it out at one go, and you don't need to then worry about it on everyday basis. But there are also certain things that you should not schedule, and one of the main one is engagement. So you should never try to automate thank you messages, responses, replies, engagement in terms of thank you for your like or tweet or retweet. You should not try to automate direct messages. Anything that is more of the relationship and conversational basis should always be natural, done in the moment. But by scheduling, you actually will enable yourself to have more time for the actual real-time engagement. So this is just an overview of what should be scheduled and what not. And now, obviously, we will look into the tools and tactics that we can actually use to execute scheduling. So there are, in my opinion, three main options of social media scheduling tools. One of them is Buffer, another one is Hootsuite, and the third one is ContentCal. There are some additional options, so there could be platform-specific scheduling tools like Ladder for Instagram and Tailwind for Pinterest. And there's lots more other social media scheduling tools like Sendable, Agora Polls, or Sprout Social. But in my opinion, the three that actually do matter for organization, for small businesses, freelancers, are Buffer, Hootsuite, and ContentCal, because each of them is offering a really great free starting tier of their service, of their product. So anyone can join, anyone can try, anyone can be using their platforms for free. There are certain limitations, but for a small business or a charity or a volunteering organization, they offer anything that you might possibly need. So before we actually look into how to plan content and how to schedule it, we will look into these three platforms a little bit more in depth, and we will have a look at kind of guide through them. So the first one is Buffer, and this is what you will see when you open Buffer. So it's fairly minimalistic, it's really simple navigation. You have the options for your platforms here. So if you click on add a social account, you will be able to connect your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Instagram, whichever platforms you want. On the free account, you can get up to 3 accounts. If you would like more than 3 accounts, you need to pay. But as I said, in most cases, your social media strategy should focus on 1, 2, maximum 3 accounts. So their limit of 3 accounts for free is absolutely enough. Then you have the top bar. It's more kind of basic admin, basic settings. And then you have the most important part here, which is content. You can see the Buffer is built in this kind of a stream of options, in a stream of blocks. But you can also switch from this list view to calendar view. Then it will give you a little bit more optical, a little bit more clear view of how your week might look like. And again, you can see that there are some content already prepared, and there are some options that gives you when to schedule your content. If you can click here and start typing. You can start importing your content here. You can click whichever platform you want this to be shared. If you click multiple, it will give you option to actually customize for each network. So it will look and feel differently on, for example, Twitter, on Instagram, or LinkedIn. And then you can simply pick and choose the date that you would like it to be shared, that you would like the content to go out, and you can share it here. There are a couple of different sharing options, as you can see. One of them is add to the queue, another one is share next, another one is share now, and another one is schedule. The difference between add to the queue and schedule post is that add to the queue will add it automatically to predefined time slots, and schedule post will allow you to schedule and pick a date and a time for each post. But if you already know when would you like your post to be scheduled, you can go to settings and you can go to this posting schedule, and it will allow you to pre-create the slots for each day. So you can say that you would like to post every day at 10 a.m. or every day at 6 p.m. Whatever it is, you can create it here. And then when you go into the content tab, you will see the prepared boxes here that will allow you to quickly add new content to the queue. So it's fairly straightforward. It's really easy to use in terms of use. You have a creator tab here. When you create your content, you can pick and choose whichever platform you want. You can simply drag and drop any media, any videos and pictures here. It will keep track of your character limit. If you'd like to insert some emojis, you have an option to do it straight here, so you don't need to copy it from anywhere else. So it's really easy to use. You can again choose from the list and calendar view, and afterwards, after you've published it, you can look into analytics and you can see the results for all your content. You can arrange it by the most popular or least popular, so you can actually look at what works and what doesn't work for your business, which content actually worked and which content actually did not resonate. It's not the most visually appealing analytics, so it gives you just individual results for every single tweet or post. It does not give you an overview results. So when we get to the last section of measuring, we might actually look into other options of measuring. But in terms of content planning and making sure that you are on top of your social media schedule, this is a really simple tool, fairly straightforward in terms of you create post here, you assign it here, you see where it is. If you want to change the date or time, you can simply drag and drop to the next available slot, or you can click on this blue button that says change time or switch to buffer schedule. And you can always edit it here or by simply clicking into it. So it's fairly straightforward, simple tool. There is another one tool that is Hootsuite, and it works slightly different. So you can see that now when we're in Hootsuite, the layout is completely different. You can see that rather than made in lines the way buffer is, as a list, it's created in columns, and you have different columns for different things. So then you can scroll through different things to go and explore what's in them. The navigation is not on the top, the navigation bar is on the left side. So you can see that you have all the menus over here, and you can flip from stream to publisher. So publisher is the version of Hootsuite for scheduling. It has a calendar view where you can see all posts or posts for different networks. You can also pre-create drafts of your content here, or you can simply click wherever you would like new posts to be created. Or you see that there is a huge green button that says create post. So there is a variety of different posts, different options to actually click create post. You can always create posts in the default stream box because you have always this top bar here ready for you to be used. So you can click here and you can start typing again the message. You can choose whichever profile you would like this to go to. You can add a link here, you can add a media here, and then when you get to scheduling, you can decide on which day and on which time it's going to go out. You can also save it as a draft if you're not ready to publish it yet. So you see that there are different variations and it looks and feels different. In my opinion, Hootsuite is a little bit too busy. It's a little bit too noisy, so it's hard to navigate. Excuse me. And buffer for me feels a little bit more natural, a little bit more clear. But it really, really depends on your personal preferences. Someone likes these streams, someone likes the columns. You can have a scheduler for all your platforms in one tab. So you can actually see what's scheduled on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, all in one place, as well as then see all the results in analytics. Analytics are slightly different here. So they're a little bit more visual and they show you overall results rather than individual post results. But then again, it really depends on what it is that you would like to achieve with your social media. And the third app, the third tool that we mentioned is ContentCal. So this is how ContentCal looks like when you land in, when you log in. It gives you just a basic overview of here are your calendars, so you can create multiple calendars for your organization. And the thing that is really, really nice kind of touch from ContentCal is that they have their onboarding videos. So they have a really lovely series of really short videos that allow you to explore this tool and understand how this tool can help you. So you can actually watch individual tools on how to use ContentCal analytics and how to use content planning tools and how to post on Instagram and other tools. So this is a really nice touch for starting with ContentCal. But then once you create a new calendar and you open your calendar, you see that the view is completely different from the other apps. It does not use lists, neither it does use columns. It actually uses a calendar. So the beauty of ContentCal which the name kind of gives away, is the fact that it is a calendar. It looks like a calendar straight away, and in my opinion, it's the most visually appealing, the simplest platform to actually understand how it works. But before we get into it, let's take a quick tour. So you see that you have a tab content here, which is the place where you create and plan and schedule your content. It also has a tab called analytics, where you can then analyze the results. It has a special tab called campaign, so you can actually create specific campaigns based on your plan. So if you have a launch of a new product, of a new service, if there is a campaign, if there's fundraising or anything, and you know that you will have a specific content for this particular campaign, you can actually pre-create it here, so then you know when it's going to happen. And you can actually, if you have multiple members and multiple staff, you can create different levels of approval. So certain people can only create drafts and they need to be approved. Or on the other hand, someone could directly create and approve and post. You can always change the view. So if you prefer list view, you could have a list view here as well. So it would show you all the posts that are scheduled based on the list. But you can also have this week, which shows you the days of the week, and it shows you the different platforms that you have connected. And you can also switch to a proper month view, where you see that there are different campaigns running, so you know that there needs to be different content. And you can see what's already been approved, which is green, and things that need approving, which is blue. And it works really simply in terms of you just click wherever you want a new content, and you just create a new post. So you can again choose which platforms you want. You can start writing, you can add media. If you have any tags and you want certain blog posts or other stuff, so you can actually start using tags to enable you to organize your content better. You can choose the publishing date, publishing time. If you can send for approval, others approved. It's up to you depending on the level of authority you have. And then click add post. You can also create posts into Pinboard, which are not assigned to a particular time. So sometimes you will feel really creative and you will have ideas on new posts, but you don't know when you actually want to post them yet. So you can go here and you can create new posts in a Pinboard. And then when you see in your calendar somewhere that you have a gap and you don't have any content posted there, you can simply drag and drop from your Pinboard to the place where you actually want the content to have, which allows you to plan your content nicely in advance. Another nice touch here is actually this notes option. So you can see that you can pre-create notes based on what's happening on the day. So you can have an awareness day, and you know that in this day there is a certain awareness day or certain event happening, or that you need to pay attention to certain event, to certain deadline, or whatever it is. And then you know what to create here. So this is just a quick overview of the build of the social media tools like Buffer, Hootsuite, and ContentCal. And aside from these, there are actually also native scheduling. So all the platforms, or the majority of platforms like Facebook and Twitter, they have their own built-in publishing tools that you could be using. So for example, Facebook, if you are in your Facebook page manager, you see on the top that you have the navigation bar, and one of the options says publishing tool, and it will take you here where you see all your published tools, published posts, and you can see all the analytics. You can also see if you have anything scheduled, so you can directly plan and schedule content here. You can create drafts, so again, you can just brainstorm and put your ideas down here, and then finish them and publish them whenever you feel like it. And the creation is simple as it is on Facebook. Just click on create at the Facebook creating studio, where you can create photos, you can write notes, you can create a poll, you can do all the stuff that you usually can on Facebook. and then you can click on publish, or you can click on schedule, which will enable you to pick a date when you would like to schedule this post. So sometimes, depending on your preferences, depending on what you actually want to achieve and how much time you have, how much efforts you want to put into your social media, and what you want to achieve and what you need to do, and obviously which platform is the right platform for you, you can then decide which platform, which social media scheduling tool is the right tool for you. Sometimes it might be as easy as using the native scheduling within the platform. I mentioned that there is native scheduling for Twitter, which is one of the most unknown tools. It is the least known tool, and it's Studio on Twitter. So this is mostly for the visuals. So it's made for videos, photos, and GIFs. So it's your media studio where you can upload any media from your laptop, any media from your phone, and you can create and schedule posts directly within Twitter. So you don't need any third-party app. You can also browse through all the pictures and videos that you've previously shared. And the good thing about them is that you can always reuse them. So if you've already used a picture or video or something, you can always click on this option that says create a new tweet, and it allows you to, again, write a new tweet copy. The video is already attached here. But the most exciting thing about this is the edit media settings, because it enables you to do more with your videos than you would usually be able to do on Twitter. It enables you to change the thumbnail, so you can actually change the picture to something a little bit more appropriate. You can add a title and a description to your video, which is really helpful, so you can then, again, add more value by providing a brief title and brief description so people know what this video is all about. You can also add a call to action. So if you would like people, after watching your Twitter video, to go to a certain website and to do a certain action, that you can very easily add the link here, which adds lots more value to your audience if they're watching your video. And you can directly tweet it here, or you can schedule it here. Again, the schedule works pretty much the same everywhere. So you can pick a date and you can pick a time and you can schedule. But it is really, really helpful if you want to use Twitter and you want to use more videos on Twitter and more visuals, because you don't need to go anywhere. Again, you don't need a third-party app. You just simply go to studio.twitter.com, and the studio is free for everyone. There is unlimited schedule opportunities. It has also built-in analytics. So you can see that there are plenty of opportunities for using scheduling and different tools. They do look differently, they do work a little bit differently, but what they all can do for you is allow you to plan your content in advance and to be more organized with your content. So I already mentioned that you always need to start with a plan. So the beauty of these tools is that they really, really enable you to be more efficient, to get more done in a shorter period of time, to allow you to be detached from your laptop or your phone, to actually not to worry about social media that much, but to get the most out of these tools and to actually leverage all they offer and all you can do with them. And obviously, to get the great results from your social media, you always need to have a plan. Without having a plan, without understanding what you want to do, what you want to achieve, even these tools will not help you. Even these tools will still just add to the noise out there. I will not deliver on the results that you were hoping for. So before you actually go and start playing with these tools, invest in any time or money into any additional tools, then always start with having a plan. So what content plan actually means is that you plan your social media updates in advance. You bulk create and schedule them in longer periods of time. So you spend an hour, 2 hours a week or a month, it depends, up to you, to actually dive deep, plan, map out your content. really focus on keeping the right content balance. So you're not overly promoting, you're not overly sharing one type of content, that you actually have a good balance of different types of content. And after doing all of this, this will enable you to do more time engaging with your audience. The whole point of social media scheduling is to allow you to be more flexible and have more time to actually spend in platforms talking and listening and engaging, and be really genuinely engaged in conversations rather than just focusing on what content to push out there. So if you have a content plan and you're thinking about, well, what type of content, what should I be talking about, what is the balance, then the simple thing to follow is the rule of thirds. And the rule of thirds says that to keep your content balanced, you should share different types of content in this balance. So the third of your content can be self-promotion. So it can be posts about, so these are our services, this is what we do, this is how we can help you, this is what we've done, these are our testimonials, if you have any special offers, if you have any anything that you would like to promote about you and your organization, then you have this 1/3 of your time and effort online to do so. Another third should be engagement and conversations. So it should be more spending time to talk, to respond, to comment, to go into direct messages and actually engage with people. And another third of your content should be educational and informative content. So it still could be a little bit about you, but it's more in terms of helping others, helping people understand and provide value. It could be how-to videos, it could be blog posts, it could be ebooks, it could be just really short tips and tricks and information. But it should not include any call to actions in terms of sales or self-promotion or your services that would seem to be salesy. But it's absolutely up to you. This is just one recommendation. There are different theories, there are different balances out there that will be recommended. Some people use the 4-1-1 rule, that you have 4 posts will be educational, informative, 1 post will be engagement, conversation, 1 post will be self-promotion. There are different balances. It actually does not matter that much what is the balance. The whole point is, again, keeping it fresh and keeping it interesting and keeping the variety of your content in there. The content balance also goes to different types and forms of content. So you know that you can share video, you can share a link, you can share simple text, you can share photo, you can share GIF, and there are different types of content that you could be sharing. And the content balance also goes to making sure that you share a variety of contents in terms of you have some pictures, you have some videos, you have some links, you have some simple text, you add a little bit of fun with GIFs, that you don't share just links, that you don't share just images, that you don't share just plain old text, that you actually keep a nice variety of content out there. So if you lack of inspiration or if you lack of understanding of what content to actually put out there, always keep these 4 guidelines in mind, that your content and your social media and your marketing should always educate, inform, entertain, and inspire. It is about creating conversations and helping people. It's about being social and providing value rather than selling. So after you've actually put all your content together, you have your plan done, and you started posting, then you need to measure and analyze your results. You can only measure if you understand what you're trying to achieve. So the first step of measuring and analyzing is having your goals, is to set your goals and understand what it is that you want to achieve and what you need to do on a regular basis to actually achieve these goals. Once you understand your goals, then you need to understand what metrics actually relate to your goals. So what is the metric? What is the one thing to measure that will tell you if you're moving forward to your goal? And once you understand the metrics, then you need to monitor your results regularly. It's not enough to go to your analytics every 3 months and have a quick look if it's up and down and leave again. You need to monitor your results on a regular basis to understand if you're going into the right direction, if what you've been thinking that will work is actually working, if there's a new trends or anything that needs to be adjusted. And even though you need to have a plan and you need to have a strategy, you also should be agile and be able to adjust your strategy as you go, to be able to really work on your feet and make sure that your strategy is always up to date and is always relevant and is always the right thing to do, because social media is changing all the time. So the things that have worked at the beginning might not work anymore. So make sure that you are agile and that you're working on a regular basis. So before we go back to me actually showing you hands-on how to plan and how to create a social media content plan, I will quickly switch back my camera to actually quickly check what's happening with you guys in the comments. If there's anything that you have not understood or I should go back to, and if everything is okay, we will go to actually hands-on showing you how to create a content plan. So good. Never knew this existed on Twitter. Yes, Twitter Studio is one of the well-hidden secrets on Twitter. It's something that most people don't know. Twitter launched it a couple of years ago, but actually no one ever talks about it, no one knows about it. So it's really helpful, especially if you have videos, if you're using lots of videos on Twitter. Sometimes I'm having issues with videos on Twitter when posting from mobile or desktop, that the app keeps crashing. If you have a bigger video, longer video, Twitter could be really challenging in terms of not being able to post the video. And the easiest way to go around it is actually to use Twitter Studio, upload your videos there, and they're always there. So it also works as a really good way to back up your content. And you can schedule it from there. You can repurpose your content. And as I mentioned, the most exciting thing about Twitter Media Studio is the fact that you can add titles, descriptions, and call to actions to your videos. So then people, after watching your videos, can actually click on a link and go somewhere. So it adds a completely different element to your video and makes it a little bit more engaging. So if there are no questions, I will go back to sharing my screen, and we will look at how you can actually start planning your content in ContentCal or any of these other apps a little bit more in depth, so you actually know where to go and what to do. So we'll just go back to sharing my screen. And we will go back to ContentCal. So ContentCal, as I said, is my favorite tool, mostly because it looks really easy to use. It looks really clear. It has the calendar overview. So it makes it easier for the brain to actually understand, and the overview could work really quickly. So you can, as I said, connect to whichever platforms you would like to ContentCal, and then you can start creating content by clicking on any of these tabs. But the good thing to do before actually start doing that is to go to setup, and obviously after you connected all your platforms that you would like, you can also create different category tags. So instead of you knowing what content you have, you can start creating new tags. So you can create a category called blog, you can create a category called events, you can create a category called news, you can call category have quotes, whatever it is that you would like to share, and you know that you have more content around these topics, then you can create different category tags. You can assign different colors, so it makes it much easier for you to plan. If you also have a specific hashtags that are assigned to your campaigns and that you know that you're using on a regular basis, you can add your hashtags here, so you have everything in one place. So it really helps you keep all the information about all your social media campaigns in one place, and you can see and easily edit everything here in the setup. So after you've done your setup properly, you've connected all your apps, you've created all the category tags, you've created the hashtags, you can go back to the content and you can start planning. You can have a look at your month in advance, and you can see that here is a new campaign that will be all about your event. So you can decide that this campaign or this particular event will start on this date and will finish on this date, and there will be the brief description of your campaign, so actually you know what you meant by this. And you can see that you can have upcoming campaigns, you can have live campaigns, you see what campaigns is already finished, which allows you to actually see how each campaign performed compared to other campaign, and it helps you then in the overview to actually see what is happening in which day, in which place of your calendar, to actually allow you to plan. So when you put your campaigns in there, when you put all your days, you can then start looking at awareness days. So there are lots of different options of awareness days, and they are really lovely addition to your content calendar. You can simply go to days of the year and have a look at other days of the year awareness appreciation days that are relevant for your business. And here you can see what's happening on each day. So then you can browse the calendar and look on other days, or you can simply just scroll through and see what's here. Or if you have a specific business and specific campaign in mind, you can start searching here. So if we say we want something about food, we actually get all the results that are relevant to food. You can even go more specific, so you can go healthy food and see what actually the result in terms of healthy food will be. So you can see that there is eating healthy day, there's woman healthy weight day, and I don't know why the fast food day is as a result of healthy food day, but you can see that there's lots of options for you, and you always see which date it is. So you can easily then go back to your ContentCal or to your planner, and you can say that this day, this awareness day, is actually any kind of healthy eating day, and then here you would actually like to create content that is related to this particular awareness day. So you can map out your content really nicely this way, that you have a look at your overall calendar. You know that you will have an event here, so you can actually create an event here. You know that you will have an event here, so you can create a post here. And then you will be able to see what is approved for which platform, what needs to be approved for which platform. So you can easily just click on the approve. You can also simply drag and drop, move things around. In the week overview, you actually see if there is an image. So this post has an image, so I can actually directly see what image will be out there, which is really helpful then if you're creating content for your link for Instagram, which is a really, really visual platform. And here it actually will enable you to see all the different images that will be shared. So it will allow you to see the image balance that is going to be shared on your posts, on your platforms. So there are different tools, there are different options. As I said, they are all having a free tier, a free version that you could use, so there's no need to pay for any of them. I would recommend you actually having a play around with them to have a look which one suits you the best. There is no one tool suits all. Everyone has a different preferences and different needs and different variations. So it really depends up to you. Buffer has one really amazing tool that enables you to actually share content more efficiently from outside of Buffer. and that's buffer extension. You can see here, it's really hard to see, but it's this icon of the buffer, and that's here in my Chrome. So then wherever I am online, wherever I'm reading an interesting blog post or something, and I would like to share this particular post on my channels, I can just hit this button and it will bring buffer back to me. It will pre-create a post. So you can see it already captured the headline. I can edit this. I can already have the link here. As you see, I can add some images if I would like to add some images to it. I can add emojis. I see the character limit here. I can customize it for different platforms, and I can directly here add it to the queue, or I can schedule it for a certain time, certain date, and add it to the relevant platforms that I want to add it to. So this is a nice tool for adding new content to your schedule from outside. So if you're reading, if you're browsing, if you're just in the middle of something and you just quickly want to share this because you've read something that you think would be relevant and interesting for your audience, you can do it very easily with this extension that you can find in your Chrome extension part. You can install different extensions to your Chrome. So you can go here. So I will just go back to stop sharing my screen. And I will go back to actually saying hello to you guys. Hello. And I will have a look again at the notifications and the result and in any of your comments to see if there's anything that you don't understand or something. So yeah, one of the questions, can you have up to 3 social media accounts on ContentCal like you all can on Buffer? Yes, ContentCal also allows you to have 3 accounts for free. You can choose whichever 3 you want on the free version. So again, for a small organization, for charity, it's absolutely enough to have 3 platforms. You don't need more than that. It's absolutely enough to focus on 1 or 2 platforms, and ContentCal allows you to have 3 platforms. Hootsuite has the same limit, I think, that allows you 3 platforms. Some have also restrictions on how much content you can plan ahead. So Buffer allows you to plan 10 posts for each network. Hootsuite allows you to plan, I think, 30 posts for each network. And I'm not sure what are the limitations on Buffer on ContentCal, but each of these platforms actually have limited options for free, so it's absolutely enough to use those. So just to wrap up this video, I will once more quickly go to sharing to share my screen. And if you don't have a strategy, and if you were thinking, oh, this is nice, Lenka, but where do I start? How do I start with a strategy? I don't know which platforms I should be on. Then you can go ahead and you can download the complete social media starter kit from my website, which is a free template, which is a free ebook that will guide you through building your social media strategy, deciding on which platforms to focus on. It will guide you through picking up the right content for your business. And it will also, again, bring back the tools that you could be using. If you would like a little bit more hands-on training, I'm running more hands-on workshops and trainings together with Cambridge Online and Cambridge CVS. And you can always find more information on their website. And if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch. Message me, tweet me, email me, find me on LinkedIn, message here on YouTube in the comments. I will be monitoring them. Let me know if there's anything I could do to help going forward to make sure that you understand how to really leverage social media for your organization in the best way. So just to wrap up, I would like to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being a great audience. Hopefully you found this session helpful. Hopefully you will now understand how to use social media marketing and social media scheduling tools like Buffer, Hootsuite, and ContentCal to be more efficient and to get more results and to get better results from your social media. It was a great pleasure to speaking with you today, and I hope to see you at one of the future events soon. Bye!